The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following program contains mature content. Any opinions expressed are those solely of the host and any guests. Listener discretion strongly advised.
That sounds like it's my cue. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. Each episode of Wyce Thoughts contains a virtual campfire sit-down inside my mind. This is no holds barred talk. Definitely not for the faint of heart, the meek of moral character or intestinal fortitude. And hey, if you like the program, do us a favor. Please give us a positive rating and review on your favorite podcast provider. Or better yet, visit our website at wycethoughts.com. Just spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. On this episode of Wyce Thoughts, are you letting others control your happiness? We're going to talk about a parody biography I watched with Weird Al Yankovic, and so much more. It's all coming up on this episode of Wyce Thoughts, so grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, pull up a beanbag, pull up some floor, pull up some couch, whatever. And we're going to get into it in just a minute on Wyce Thoughts, so don't you go anywhere. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. Oh, I got that real hard music going, Mr. Producer. Welcome to the program today, everyone. So glad you're here. And we got a great show in store for you today on Wyce Thoughts. And remember, if you want to give us a positive rate review on your favorite podcast provider, or better yet, go to the website, wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. And hey, if you want to come on the show and chit-chat with me, you can sign up to be a guest right at the website at wycethoughts.com as well. And check out my YouTube channel, Wyce Thoughts on YouTube. All right. Well, it's time. Yeah.
Over $200 billion. It's going to bring $1.7 billion off the sidelines.
As of the recording of this podcast, mid-November,
I want to tell my
Joe Biden is still the worst president in the United States.
You're going in for a problem. The Coast Guard is, quote, the hard nucleus around the Navy forms in times of war. Congress, Hawking Claw sauce.
What?
English,
I think it's a
motherfucker,
right
do you speak it?
for people that bad at care. You know how much I'm going to do with the deficit this year?
Yeah, anyway, that's enough of that. Well, welcome to the program, everybody. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. I am Terry Wyce. How are you? How you doing out there? I hope everybody is happy, healthy, and continuing to hopefully make some progress in our unfortunate inflation-ridden nation as we go along yet again, surviving another day in the inflation nation, which is now known as the United States of America. Boy, it didn't take long, to destroy this country. Just 2+ short years, this new administration. But anyway, I don't want to be too political today because that just gets me totally pissed off and down a rabbit hole I don't feel like going down on this episode of the podcast. Had a great opportunity. Let's talk about something a little more lighthearted. Had an opportunity to check out the Weird Al Yankovic story there, the biopic, his parody biopic, which, by the way, is free. All you have to do is go through the Roku channel, or if you have Roku, just get it on the Roku channel. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I've always kind of liked Weird Al Yankovic. I thought his parody songs were funny. And I kind of always thought he was just like an oddball, but in a good way, an oddball. People say, well, he's moronic and stupid and infantile, but you know what? In a highly polarized and polarized and charged society, we got to be able to just be goofy and laugh at ourselves without, all this political correct woke bullshit. And I've always liked Weird Al. I thought he was funny and kind of just odd out there. I liked the actual motion picture he did back in, I believe it was 88 or 89, called UHF. If you have a chance to see that, I think it's on a couple streaming services, and it's called UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. Billy Barty made a cameo in it. A lot of other actors made some cameos in it. Fran Drescher, remember her from The Nanny? The Nanny! Fran Drescher's in it, and a few others. Michael Richards, who went on, his big thing was Seinfeld, all right? So it was funny. UHF is funny, and the Weird Al Yankovic story here, I thought it was really funny, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It gave me a good at least 90 minutes of chuckles, and I just love how he doesn't take himself seriously and just pokes moronic fun at the whole thing, the whole Hollywood industry, the whole music industry, and even himself and stuff. And, I think it takes a pretty well-adjusted person to be able to poke fun at yourself and laugh along with yourself and laugh at yourself. And I think in today's society where everyone has to be successful, everyone has to be an influencer on social media, and you got to have all these followers, and you got to have all this, these 15 minutes of fame influence. Oh, everybody's got to follow me and look at me what I'm doing. The peacocks. We're the peacock generations now. Because you know what? Even people my age are doing it, peacocking with the selfies and, everything else. And now I know what some of you are out there thinking. Yeah, Terry, you post to Twitter and you post to Facebook. You do this podcast. Aren't you kind of a peacock? I guess in a way, yeah. I guess you could say that. However, my life is not going to end. I'm not going to spiral out of control into a Xanax-filled depression if I don't have a lot of followers or any followers. I could give a shit less, to be honest with you. Not to say that I don't care about you people, and I thank each and every one of you that follow me here and on social media, follow the podcast, and even all of my subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate each and every one of you. But if all of you decided, or some of you decided tomorrow that you don't want to follow me anymore or whatever, okay, hey man, it's America. You're allowed to. That's your choice. Good for you. I get it. I'm not going to go sit in the corner and suck my thumb and cry, boo-hoo, poor me, nobody likes me. That's just not how I'm built. On the other hand, we have now generations of what I would call peacock self-induced narcissism going on in the United States, where everybody has to be an influencer or a YouTube influencer or a social media presence in that. And I think we've just created more problems for our society as a whole than it's worth. Don't get me wrong. I like the internet. I think the internet is a great thing. A lot of information out there. I've gained a lot of knowledge, learned a lot of things, been entertained a lot by it, but I also know it can be a pretty shitty place too, the internet can be. And there's a lot of pitfalls to it, just like anything. You can go out in public and go to places in town that are great and places in town that are shitty. Just scum of the earth people and decent people. It's the same thing with the internet. There's no guarantees in life, my friend. Anyone who tries to guarantee you in something, there's two guarantees in life. You're going to die and taxes. Those are two guarantees. Little liquid refreshment this afternoon. And sorry about that. So, this whole idea that, you've got to be a popular peacock here in today's society, I just don't ascribe to it. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm in the minority, and if that is the case, then so be it. But back to it, the Weird Al Yankovic story, the Weird Al story, very entertaining. It's nice to just watch a movie that's goofy, or even a show that's goofy, and just forget about all the nonsensical bullshit going on in the world, and especially in the U.S. here, and just forget things and just laugh and enjoy yourself. It's nice to do that. So do yourself a favor, if you have internet capable streaming and you got Roku or the Roku, you can get the Roku channel. You can get it on a computer too. Check out if you've ever listened to a Weird Al parody song, check out Yankovic, the Weird Al story. I think you'll enjoy it. By the way, also the podcast from Purple Pit Studios, Stream Time, we'll be doing a review on that upcoming here shortly as well. So look for the review of that on the podcast Stream, STREAM Time, TIME, Stream Time. And you can find that at any podcast provider or by going to purplepitstudios.com, and you can listen to the episode right there when it airs. So that's going to be coming up shortly as well. What else? We talked about last time, I finished a great book series last time. I'm into a new book series about time travel, doing some reading. And I want to kind of flip over here into something I wanted to talk about today on the podcast. Do you find that people or you're being controlled, or people are trying to control you? And I don't mean just like politically, what tribe you should be in, who you should vote for. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just in general. It could be friends, family, or, the media. Just, what clothes you should be wearing, what events you should be attending, how you should be spending your time. There's a lot being thrown at us as people, as individuals, and a lot of it coming from advertisers, a lot of programming, I guess. Programming would be, I guess, the adequate phrase or word, programming. I just starting to pay more and more attention to this when I'm watching like a television show or, these commercials that pop up, or even the advertisements online and in print media and such. More so, maybe because I'm just becoming more self-aware of it, but there's a lot of programming going on out there, folks, a lot of programming, and companies in general pay big, big money for these research groups to find out what you and I will respond to. Now, you've heard the stories, and I've heard them too as well, about, let's say you're on, Facebook, and you're looking at diapers, or no, you're on Facebook, not Facebook. Let's say you're online and you're looking at diapers because you have kids and you're on Amazon or whatever. And then you go to your Facebook account. All of a sudden on Facebook, your feed, you're starting to see commercials for diapers and this and that, within, sometimes hours. And sometimes it's the next day. And you're like, wait a minute, I wasn't on Facebook looking for diapers. I was on Amazon doing this. There's a lot of tracking going on. There's a lot of conditioning going on. And this overall mindset that you've got to have a stance on everything is sometimes very, very infuriating to me. And what I mean by that is, somebody will ask you about a hot topic, what did you think of, this happened. I don't know about it. What? You don't know about it? What's wrong with you? You should know it. Blah, blah. And then they try and kind of, put you on the spot there. And they're like, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear about it. I didn't see it. I haven't read about it. So I have no opinion on it. The overall conditioning, too, to control your life or to direct your life is that, you never notice how everybody's so busy all the time? Stop and think about this for just a second. How many people do you talk to? And I'm talking like your friends or your family, and you talk to them and say, oh, I've just been so busy. Oh, little Johnny's got soccer, little Julie's got, ballerina, and we're running and 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 running. Why is everybody so damn busy all the time? When's the last time you talked to somebody and you called them up or whatever? Hey, what are you up to? I'm just sitting around the house, drinking a beer, having a Pepsi, just reading a book, relaxing, chilling out, staring at a wall, whatever. When's the last time you actually talked to somebody? Because I know a lot of the people I talk to, friends and family, I'm just so busy. This has been going on. That's going on. And we wonder why people are stressed out. We wonder why people are downing pharmaceutical, antidepressants and anxiety meds and, and muscle relaxant. We're wondering why society as a whole are downing, these pharmaceuticals or abusing other drugs by the truckload. Because we're being pushed. You got to be an overachiever at work. It's not enough anymore to just go and do your job, punch in and punch out, do your 40 hours. You're looked down upon unless you're overachieving. Are you staying for extra hours? Are you doing extra and not getting paid for it, etc.? Are you doing above and beyond? How about just doing what's expected of you and be celebrated for that? There's something to be said for that, because some people in our society, certain segments, don't even do that. But this constant bull rush, you've got to be an overachiever. You got to be doing more. Your kid's got to be in 57 programs and advanced calculus, when they're 5 years old. And, they just came out of your vagina and you're planning for college already. I mean, live. Take a breath and live for a little bit. Some of the research I've seen out there and some of the medical journals and things like that, because I peruse stuff like that every once in a while about trends, and when I get an idea popping in my cranium, we're seeing an uptick in cancer and heart attacks and strokes in younger people. Why? Because I think they're just running 100 miles an hour. Now, I'm not saying be a sloth and sit around and scratch your balls in your underwear all day or whatever, or sit in a corner and stare at paint drying. But there's got to be something said for pacing yourself and not allowing yourself to be manipulated into being this machine where the gas pedal on your engine is floored 24/7 when you're awake. It's okay to say no, people. It's okay to say, no, I don't want any overtime. No, thank you. Why not? Because I just don't. Well, why not? No is, I just don't, or, hey, can you do this and help out and do this extra? And, even though it's not your job, no, I really can't at this point in time. Well, why not? Because I can't. Why not? No should be the sufficient answer. But this outside controlling influences that, well, psychologically and, superficially that, we always got to be striving for more and you got to do as much as you can every day. I mean, I get it. You want to accomplish things and you want to set some goals, but, enjoy the journey. Take some time and, there's an old expression, stop and smell the roses. Because I'll tell you, folks, especially to my younger listeners out there, you may be in your 20s or your late teens or your 20s or your mid-20s. You're going to blink and be over 50. You're going to blink and be 60. And what do when you look back a little bit, when you get to that age, you're going to be like, holy shit, where'd the time go? So you want to, make some memories, enjoy, slow down a little bit. Don't be controlled by these media companies, your friends, your family, I mean, something that me and my wife have always told our children and even our grandchildren now is that, well, what do you think I should do? Should I go to college for this? It's your life. We're not going to live it for you. We can't live it for you. You got to do what makes you happy. If that's digging ditches, great. If that's helping people in a sector, whether it be in medical or outreach or whatever. If you want to build things, whatever you want to do, the world is your oyster. You don't have to settle on a career at 17 or 18. Try some things. If you want to go to college, go to college. If you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. There's a lot of research out there to be said that college really doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference. You could throw all that money down the shitter, as it were, for college. I mean, and it really sometimes just doesn't make a damn bit of difference. There is a lot to be said for is real world experience, common sense. Let me say that again. Common sense, America. Okay. For those of you, take note. Again, common sense. And just putting your best foot forward and trying and striving and doing your best. But the controlling influences out there in the world today, I've noticed since I was a kid and even a young adult and even a early to middle-aged adult, I noticed it's just those pressure, those screws keep turning tighter and tighter. You got to accomplish more. You got to have all these followers. Everybody's got to love you on social media, blah, blah. No thanks. Doesn't bother me in the least. I could care less. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we got more for you on Wyce Thoughts. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the show. If you want to contact me, you can tweet at me on Twitter at Terry Wyce. You can also follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Wyce Thoughts. And if you want to check out my YouTube channel, just search for Wyce Thoughts on YouTube. Now, let's get back to the show. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Wyce Thoughts. I'm Terry Wyce. Make sure you visit the website, wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. And thank you so much for stopping by the program today. I do truly appreciate each and every one of you. Before the break, we were talking a little bit about the Weird Al biopic parody I saw on the Roku streaming channel service, which, by the way, is free. You don't have to have a subscription or pay a monthly fee for that. Roku channel is free, or you can get it on a computer. So check that out. If you like Weird Al too, you're really going to enjoy it. You just want a goofy-ass movie that makes fun of, celebrities and Hollywood, etc. Check out that movie, Yankovic, The Weird Al Story. And before the break, we were talking about how I've kind of really been more observant of the control factors going around, especially American society, with people wanting to be, peacocks. And what I mean by peacocks is, social influencers and have all these followers, and everybody's got to love you on social media and things like that. And, how society always kind of is pushing us to do more, accomplish more, be more. And how maybe if you've talked to your friends or family in the past couple of years or more, everybody's always busy. That's their go-to phrase. Like when somebody says, "Hey, how you doing?" That's like, "Oh, good. I'm fine." That's like a go-to. It's just like a gut reaction. If somebody, kicks you in the nuts, you crouch over. It's like how you doing? "Oh, I'm busy." "Oh my God, I've been so busy." "Oh, you don't know how busy I am." "Oh, I'm busy. What are you, head of state?" I mean, come on. So, I was thinking more about, how we need to just kind of calm the hell down, stop and smell the roses a little bit more, and, enjoy our life, because like I said, in a, snap of a finger, it's going to be over, man. I mean, we're just here for a finite amount of time. You talk to anybody in their 20s and like, "Oh my God, 70 is so old, 50 is so old, 60. It comes quick, my friends. Let me tell you, the time, she rolls on faster. And it seems like the older I get, the faster time seems to go. So yeah, I try to make the most of every day. However, what I also do is make time just to veg out a little bit every day. "Oh my gosh, Terry, no, that's a sin." No, it's not. I make time. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour. Sometimes it's only 15 minutes, whatever. Just me time, just to chill, whether I'm just going to quietly breathe and meditate, or, pick up a book and read an article or something, or read an excerpt from a book, and things like that, just to kind of pump the brakes on everything and slow down, because we've got an epidemic of people in our country here in the U.S. that are just hooked on pharmaceuticals, man. They need stuff to bring them up, bring them down. We got people with anxiety, taking 3, 4, 5 anxiety medications and snorting this to calm down and snorting that to calm down and ingesting this and, antidepressant, depression meds and all this stuff. And, all that, pumping all those pharmaceuticals into your body, my friends, cannot be a good thing. Now, don't get me wrong, before you all flip the hell out and say, "Oh my God, you're against drugs, you're against drugs." No, they have their place. If you got some severe disease and you need something to counter, there's certain drugs, but, there's no reason that a large majority of the American population should be on, antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, starting, when they're 7, 8, 9, 10 years old and on them for 40, 50, 60, their whole life. That shit I'm sorry, man. Your body's not meant to take all those things for decades and decades and decades. I just can't see how it's a good thing. Now, if you think I'm wrong, hey, send me some email. mail@wycethoughts.com. You can mail me, or you can wycethoughts@purplepitstudios.com. If you think I'm wrong, fine. Comment on the show at the website, wycethoughts.com. There's a spot under each episode. On this episode here, just put your comments in there. You got to be a Facebook member to do that. But do that. If you don't, put your comments down there. I welcome them. But I just can't think pumping all those pharmaceuticals for decades and decades and decades into your body can anyway be a good thing. And I think a lot of it is brought on ourselves. We bring it on ourselves because we're just constantly running at 100 miles an hour, trying to live up to unrealistic expectations, putting unrealistic expectations on ourselves, and then creating our own misery. So hopefully that's not the case for you, but kind of be aware of it. Watch out for it, man. You don't want to do that to yourself. It's not healthy, okay? Oh, golly. So we got Thanksgiving coming up here pretty soon at the taping of this show, just a mere week or so plus away from Thanksgiving, which is one of my favorite holidays because I get to eat, which is something I love to do. And oh my God, have you seen the price of turkeys lately? Holy moly, guacamole. Yeah, I talked about that too on the last episode of Wyce Thoughts. But oh my God, one place was like $2.99 a pound for turkey. Are you nuts? Yeah, the inflation nation rages on. But are you going to do anything special this year for Thanksgiving? Are you going to gather the family, or are you going to keep it low key to try and save a few, a few pennies? Me and the wife, it's usually just me and the wife on Thanksgiving. We just chill out. We cook our meal and everything. We sit and relax, watch a little football, watch, a couple movies or whatever, shows on there and that. And we just use it as a chill day, which is, like I said, something we all need. We could, it shouldn't be, holidays shouldn't be stressful, my friends. Holidays should be the time where you relax and just enjoy and go with the flow. But a lot of you out there get stressed out and, basically ruin your own holiday. I mean, most of you get the day off from work now, and, that should be a time for recharging the batteries, laughing, having fun. Just forget about, you got to try and shut out all the bullshit that goes on in this world, and especially in this country here, the US of A. I don't know where you're listening from, but in the US, I know we got a lot of bullshit going on here. And, use the holidays for what they're meant for. Don't stress out about it. Don't, use it as an opportunity to fight with your friends or family. Just tune all that shit out. Be the example. When especially if somebody tries to start a political conversation during the holidays. Years ago, we decided no political talk at any holiday functions or birthday parties in my home when the family members come in, because some of us in my family, we differ wildly on our political beliefs, and all it did was cause strife and undue tension and hard feelings. And I finally, years ago, made an announcement. In my house, our house, there's no political talk when you're here for a party or birthday party. Leave that shit home. Leave it in the car, whatever. You can pick it up again when you leave. And if you can't follow that rule, then you're not welcome here during the parties. And we still love you, but don't bring your misery to us, because we don't want to talk about it. And we will follow the same rules if we go to your homestead, as it were. And honestly, I thought I was going to be getting a lot of pushback when we decided that, but honestly, it's been received very well. I think sometimes somebody's got to be the one to step up and say it. I mean, you can have a party, you can have, gatherings with your family without talking politics. Talk anything else, leave politics out of it, because politics is just a sore spot for a lot of people. What direction our country takes, I don't know. It doesn't look too good now as of the taping of this podcast here in 2022 in mid-November. So who knows? If you're listening to this 100 years from now or 20 years from now and there's no more United States, well, we had a good run. I'm hoping it doesn't end in my lifetime or my kids' lifetime, but things could be looking a lot better, but who knows? Only time's going to tell, and, by the grace of God or Allah or whomever, Sheba, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, be the one to make your holidays less stressful. Try that. Talk with your spouse and say, you know what, honey, if we're hosting Christmas or Thanksgiving or, Joey's bar mitzvah or, Easter or, whatever, try that and see what happens. See if it makes it a little less tense during the holidays. Because again, the holidays are supposed to be about family, love, friendship, coming together, not this divisiveness. And when, referring back to the last segment, about organizations or groups of people trying to control the masses, as it were. And I know some of you are out there probably shaking your head, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. I like to consider myself a realist. I just look around and see what I see. Decades ago, you could have a discussion with someone on the polar opposite without it going violent or people hating each other or defriending or unfriending or unfriending, not speaking to one another. You could have a real staunch difference of opinion, but you could still go out for a beer or a burger or whatever. And now it's just so cultist on all sides. I'm just fed up with that baloney. But anyway, what else do we got, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire? Anything? Do we got anything this week? Or are we about done? Oh, you're bringing up the music. I guess we're about done for this episode of Wyce Thoughts. So thank you for those of you who tuned in today. And remember to visit the website, wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. If you want to be on the program and chit-chat with me, you can fill out the guest form. I'd love to have you on the show. We can bring you in via phone. If you're in the area, we can bring you in person to the studio as well. Just go to wycethoughts.com and fill out the guest intake form, and you can come on the show. We can talk about anything you want. For more shows from Purple Pit Studios, just visit the website, purplepitstudios.com. You can check out all the other offerings that they have there. And remember, my friends, if you want to see a change in the world, you have to be the change. Starts with you, the person looking back at you right in the mirror. Be good to yourself, be kind to others, and I look forward to meeting you again around the virtual campfire again real soon. Take care, everybody.